When the sun's up and the warm breezes are blowing, it's the perfect time for a fired-up feast. I'm here in Southern California for not one, but two spectacular backyard blowouts. I then head south to Chula Vista, where a hole in the ground is the perfect oven for Mexican barbacoa. Whole lamb that's cooked low and slow. That is delicious. Who would have thought something so good would come out of that hole in the ground right there? Up next, I learned the traditional techniques for Mexican barbacoa. The meat is deep red already, but this just adds another layer to it. I'm off to Chula Vista, California, which is just south of San Diego. I'm gonna meet Francisco Perez, the owner of Aqui Texcoco, a restaurant famous for their lamb barbacoa. Now, I'm all about learning traditional techniques, so we're going to his friend Vicky's house, where Francisco's designed an underground pit made specially for this Mexican delicacy. Now, I know Vicky and Paco must be good friends, because if I ask my wife to dig a hole in the ground, she says no, and she really loves me. Okay, so did you guys design this pit together?
Actually, I did. I studied engineering in Mexico, and also I have a restaurant where I work for doing barbacoa. So that's the way I realized how to do it.
So you designed it, but did you build it?
No. He didn't build it. He just designed it. But my husband, my father-in-law, and one of my sons, they did the hard work. They built it up, and they worked for 3-4 days in the hole.
I would say it's about 4 feet deep. It's lined with fire brick, and it's put horizontally. It is a really beautiful pit. I want to see how this thing works in action.
That's a job for men. Strong enough, so I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay.
Have fun.
All right. Where do you like to start when you're building your fire?
Well, the first thing we need to do is to make a bed of bark in the bottom of the pit.
Okay, Paco, that looks pretty good.
Okay, now we're gonna put a newspaper in the bottom. Okay, Roger, now we're gonna add other wood.
Okay. Now, what I like about alder wood is it's a very light wood, and it catches really easy. All right, so it's the moment of truth. We're gonna use this rolled up paper, start a fire. What kind of wood do we have here, Paco?
We have red and white oak, and I like it because it burns hot and long.
So I want to make sure that with these larger logs, I don't actually put out the fire by smoldering it. So we got to place it strategically around the fire so we still allow airflow. So Paco, how long will we let this pit light for?
Around 5 hours will take to heat these bricks and get the temperature.
Okay. We're looking for that fire to get really hot over that 5 hours and heat up the brick and the earth around it. And we're going to cook actually with the retained heat, not direct heat of the fire. So maybe you think we can get Vicky back here feeding this fire for the next 5 hours?
That's a very good idea.
Let's be easy. You guys can handle it by yourself.
Oh my God.
Foiled again. Foiled again. I love that all of these ingredients are gonna end up inside the pit, you know? We have this butchered lamb here, we have some bay leaf, salt, some different type of chilies. You know, in Mexico, they use the avocado leaves, much how like European or North American cuisine uses bay leaves. It's very aromatic. Now, what is this liquid that we have here?
The mix of chilies,
Yeah.
We mix it with garlic and a little bit of vinegar, and we get the marinade.
Okay, so what do you do with all of these butchered pieces?
We're gonna marinate the meat and then put all together with the avocado leaves, the bay leaves,
Yeah.
and we will put it in the pit to get something really delicious.
Man, that color really takes over the meat. I mean, the meat is deep red already, but this just adds another layer to it.
It's a different kind of red, but with a lot of flavor.
I noticed you got a pot over here with some broth in it or something. What is it?
A lamb broth base that is gonna go on the pit, and then we cover the pit with the grill, and then we put the meat.
I see what you're doing. All these spices are gonna go and fall through that grate, so the meat gets cooked and you make a broth at the same time.
Exactly. All the juices, we can get it in the pot, and we add garbanzo beans and rice, and you get a soup.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. I'm getting excited and I'm getting hungry. I want to get this over with so we can get it in the pit.
Very good.
Coming up, the most spectacular meal you've ever seen come out of a hole. Look at that! For more information on the show, go to cookingchanneltv.com/manfirefood. All right, so we have our pit that's been heating up for about 5 hours. I can feel the residual heat just rising up with my hand like that. So what first goes into the pit?
Roger, the first thing goes inside is the grid.
Okay, so the floor of the pit is really hot, so we put the grate in so nothing burns food-wise at the bottom, right?
Right.
What's next?
Next thing is to put pot inside.
All right. Inside the pot is our lamb broth base. So as you can see, this pot lid has a grate on it. So the meat is gonna sit on top of it, and all the juice is gonna flow through and create a whole beautiful broth right here.
Okay. Now, Roger, we need to put some maguey leaves on the bottom.
So now, the maguey leaves look like a cactus, but they're actually close to the agave family. It sort of helps you steam the meat, but it also adds a very unique flavor, and it helps to tenderize this lamb. All right, so that's lined really well now. We go with the meat?
Yes, we have to put bigger pieces first, and then the smaller ones.
So we're putting the bigger, thicker pieces of lamb to the bottom. It's closer to the fire. Before we close it up, we have to add some aromatics. In this case, we're using bay leaves for a little bit of that light citrusy aroma, and also some avocado leaves for a light herbaceousness. All of those leaves will offset some of the gaminess that's intrinsic to lamb.
Okay. Next step is to put the lid on top and then the coal.
So we have a very even heat at the bottom inside the pit. We need to create an even heat on top, so the top and the bottom are cooking at the same time. How long does this have to cook under here, Paco?
About 5 hours.
I can't wait, man. Okay, so Paco, this is clearly a labor of love. It's just so much work, man. How do you know when it's done?
The only way to know is to open the lid and see what happens.
All right, the moment of truth. You ready, Paco?
Ready.
Look at that! That is gorgeous, man. You see all that steam? You get this deep, deep, deep aroma of the lamb that's cooking with that broth, all those spices. Man, I can't wait to dig into this thing. Oh, man, it looks good, Paco. Really, really tasty. It is just sweet, super tender meat. Not too spicy. The chili just adds flavor more than anything. You know, Paco, I could sit here and just eat all this lamb all day long.
Well, but you have to wait because we have a lot of guests, and also you have to taste it with the salsas and the tortillas and all.
Ooh. So that's a good start, but it gets even better.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, Vicky.
Having fun here?
I am having fun. Look at all this meat.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
So good, right?
Can I have a taco?
Well, the true test is in the tasting, though, right?
Let me try it.
Uh-oh. They're not okay?
This is really good. You guys did a very good job in this.
Well, I actually did all the work. Paco was just kind of like pointing and stuff. We top our barbacoa tacos with habanero green salsa and chopped onion and cilantro. Cheers. Cheers to tacos. Cheers. Cheers. That is delicious. I'm definitely coming back to Chula Vista if you have me.
Of course, anytime. More than welcome. Thank you for coming.